I'll watch them from up here. I could at least hear it, so I got some benefit. Okay, page 28. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma Pandamoi Savadana Shmate Hara Prasare Vai He Bhavatari Adai Krishna Prapti Ora Ate Urumukha Padma Vakya Tite Te Koriya Anaka Koriya Mane Ashwa Shri Guru Charana Rati Ese Utama Gati Jai Prasade Pure Sava Asha Chakshujan Dilade Danne Danne Prabhu Se Divya Gyani De Prakashita Bhakti Hote Ayya Vinasa Jate Viregaya Hara Charita Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Aramadhanara Bandhu Lokanartho Kera Jivana Aha Prabhu Karodaya Jaya Mara Chara Jaya Tua Padelo Inu Charana Eveda Susukti Bhavana Ya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva 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 Do you want one?
Could do just 36 to come on. It's such a nice, this is such a nice one. Vrindavanavasi jato Vaishnavera gana Pratane vandana kori Sabara charana Nilachalavasi jato Mahaprabhur gana Bhumite podiya vando Sabhara charana Navadvipavasi jato Mahaprabhur bhakta Sabhara charana vando Hoya anurakta Mahaprabhur bhakta jato Gora deshe sthiti Sabhara charana vando Koriya pranati Jadeshe jadeshe paise Gaurangera gana Urvabahu kori vando Sabhara charana Hoyachena hoibena Prabhu jato tasa Sabhara charana vando Tante kori kasha ब्रह्मानंतरित शक्ति धरे ध्यान जाने एवेरा पुराणे गुण गाय जब सुने महाप्रभु गण सभापति तपवान ताय लभे मोए पापिलो इनु शरण अंदना करिते मोए कत शक्ति धरे काम बुद्धि दशे मोए दंभ मात्र करे तथापि मुखेर भाग्य मनेरायुलाश तक्षामि मोह धामे कर निज दास सर्ववंश सिद्धि होय यम भंड छूते जगते दुर्लभ होय प्रेम धन लूटे मनेर वसन पूर्ण अचिरात होय देवकी नंदन दास एलवे होय जय वैष्णव ठाकुर जय वैष्णव ठाकुर वैष्णव ठाकुर जय वैष्णव ठाकुर First of all, I offer glorification at the feet of all the Vaishnavas who are residents of Vrindavan. Falling on the ground in prostration, I pray to the feet of Sriman Mahaprabhu, associates who are residents of Nilachal. Becoming filled with loving attachment, I submit my glorification at the feet of all Mahaprabhu's devotees who are residents of Navadvip. Bowing down in obeisance, I pray to the feet of Mahaprabhu's devotees who are situated in Gaudadesh. Raising my arms, I offer glorification at the feet of all Gauranga's associates, in whichever country they may reside. Holding a straw between my teeth, I submit my glorification at the feet of all the servants of Mahaprabhu, whoever, where, or will be. Each of his devotees possesses the power to deliver the entire universe. The Vedas and Puranas glorify this divine quality of the Vaishnavas to all willing to listen. All the associates of Mahaprabhu are saviors of the fallen, so I, a sinner, fervently take shelter of them. What power do I have to glorify them? Afflicted by ignorance, I only exhibit conceit. Yet even one who is dumb, such as me, is greatly fortunate and joyful at heart to have an opportunity to glorify them. O Vaishnavas, forgive the faults of this fallen soul and make me your own servant. By the Vaishnav's mercy, one's desires are perfected, the fetters of Yam, the Lord of Death, are quickly released, and the treasure of Prem, which is rare within this world, is plundered and distributed. They quickly fulfill the heart's longings. With this in mind, Devakinandan utters this Vaishnav Vandana.
That next, right?
I think I saw it in the fridge with a paper towel over it.
That doesn't belong there. It's Garanga next, right? Garanga Bolite Havi. Don't remember what page it's on. 86. Thanks. Garanga Bolite Havi. Pulaka Sharira Hari Hari Bolite Na Yone Babenira Hara Kavini Tatare Karunaye Sumsara Vasanama Kabe Tuchabe Vishaya Chariya Kvabe Shura Bhimana Vabhihamahiravo Shri Vrindavana. Ruparaganato pare hoibe akurti kabe hame bujabose jugala piriti. Ruparaghanata pare rahumurasa patana karo ye sara narotamarasa. Jaya Sachidanand Jaya Gaura Hari Sachidanand Jaya Gaura Hari Nitai Hai Gaura Hai Nitai Hai Gaura Hai. When will the hair on my body stand on end upon chanting Gauranga? When will my eyes overflow with tears upon chanting Hari, Hari? And when will the moon-like Nityananda Prabhu bestow his mercy upon me? When will my material desires become insignificant? When will my mind, as a result of renouncing my material enjoyment, become purified? When will I behold Sri Vrindavan? When will I develop eagerness for the lotus feet of Srila Rupa Goswami and Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, by whose mercy I will be able to understand the love of the divine couple? Let all my hopes and aspirations remain at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa and Sri Raghunath Das Goswami. This is the constant prayer of Narottam Das. Narottam Das Thakur ki jai. Would you like to lead one, Shiva?
I'm happy that you two are leading.
Okay.
Okay. What would be good now?
200.
200?
Yeah. I think Tirtha said even if we want to do another Sharanagati, like the proper crumb is to always do 200.
Oh, okay. Okay. Anukulyasa sankalpa prati... Oh, 200. Anukulyasa sankalpa pratikulya vivarjanam rakshishyatiti vishvaso kaptritve varam natata atmanikshepa karpanye sadvidha sharanagati. Okay. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Saraswati Dhama Sahagana Jaya Gaura Hari. Out of compassion for the living beings, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu descended in this world along with his personal associates and divine abode. In order to bestow the extremely rare treasure of Prem Bhakti, he taught Sharanagati, which is the life and soul of the devotees. Humility, submission of the self, acceptance of the Lord's as one's only maintainer, faith in Krishna's protection, acceptance of acts favorable for bhakti, and rejection of that which is unfavorable. The son of Nanda Maharaj hears the prayers of whoever embodies these 6 limbs of Sharanagati. With a straw between his teeth, Bhaktivinoda prostrates before Sri Rupa, Sri Sanatan, embracing their lotus feet. Weeping, he says, I am the lowest of men. Kindly teach me unconditional surrender and make me an excellent Vaishnav. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. Do you want to do Shiva? Do you want to lead Radha Krishna? Do you want to lead a Radha Krishna bhajan?
I think you guys are doing really good.
Okay. What?
We're going on Harinam tonight, though, so
Oh.
maybe for that. 123. 123. Radha Krishna Pranamo Yugala Kishore Radha Krishna Pranamo Yugala Kishore Jivane Marane Goti Haranahi Mara Kalindira Kore Kere Karumbira Vana Ira Kore Kere Karumbira Vana Raitaina Virira Upa Bosa Bodu Jana Radha Krishna Pranamo Yugala Kishore Shamagori Angeri Vachue Channanira Ganda Chamaira Dhulava Kabe Herivo Mukha Chandra Katiya Marati Mala Devara Gore Adare Tuli Adivo Kapura Krishna Pranamo Yugala Kishore Lalita Vishakari Jai Jai Shaki Vrinda Agaya Kuriva Siva Taranai Ravinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Dasi Rana Dasa Seva Vilasha Kare Narottamai Dasa Radha Krishna Pranamo Yugala Kishore Radha Krishna Pranamo Yugala Kishore Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Tagora Hari Bo Hari Bo Nitagora Hari Bo Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada The youthful divine couple Sri Sri Radha Krishna are my life and soul. In life and in death I have no shelter other than them. On the banks of the Kalindi, in the Kadamba grove, meant for amorous sporting, I will seat them both upon a jeweled throne. I will anoint their dark and golden limbs with sandal paste scented with kuya. Is that how you say it? And then fan them. How do you say it? How? Kuya. And then fan them with a chamara. Oh, when will I behold their moon-like faces? After stringing together garlands of malati flowers, I will place them around both their necks. I will then place tambul flavored with camphor in their lotus mouths. On the order of Lalita, Vishaka, and other Sakis, I will serve their lotus feet. Narottam Das, servant of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, yearns for service to the divine couple. Srila Narottam Das Thakur Ki Jai. What? Yeah, what about it? Who sent me? I mean, I just felt inspired because I didn't know what to do with my life, and I met Vasanti a few years ago. So, yeah, Vasanti, and also Prema Mai, the Spanish one, and Manjari, yeah. I met Manjari in Portland, and I was like, whoa, she's amazing. Manjari, the singer and artist. Yeah, and Prema Mai through her digital Kartik pilgrimage thing. Yeah, so many people.
We saw her at Bhakti Fest too. She can sing.
Because if we didn't recognize what sound we were making, then we can't progress, but you can. It's already, great music. It just needs to change countries. Again, nobody's passing out. The papers. Where's Kudagraja?
He's taking Jaga to the doctor.
Oh, okay. Agyanam timirandasya Jnananjana salakaya Chaksurandalitam yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Nama Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Twadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadavaktaya Namo Nama Yang Pravrajanta Manupetamapeta Krityam Dvaipayano Virahaka Taravajuhava Putreti Tanmayataya Taravo Benedus Tang Sarvabhutaridayam Munimanatusmi Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshay Chiptasya Kamadi Tarangamadi Kripamayi Tvang Sharanam Prapadyam Brinde Namaste Charanaravindam Tavoivasmi Najivami Tambina Iti Vigyaya Radhe Tam Nayamam Charanantike. First, I offer my unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful Diksha Gurudev, Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Astotra Sat Shishimat, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, and the same unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful Shiksha Gurudev, Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Astotra Sat Shishimat, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, Shishimad Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj, to our grandfather gurus, Shishimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj, and Shishimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, and to all of his divine associates, and all the assembly devotees, and the assembled devotees, Diksha Gurus, who are my Shiksha Gurus, Shishimad Bhakti Vedanta Madhav Maharaj, Shishimad Bhakti Vedanta Ban Maharaj, and Shishimad Bhakti Vedanta Siddhanti Maharaj. So I have something that I prepared to speak about, but I want to know if you have any suggestions that you want me to cover during the course of the class. What? Yeah. Yeah.
Well, one of the things that I've been talking with your brahmacharis is the danger, the pride of wearing the color.
Mm-hmm.
You need to hear me?
No, the live stream.
Oh, live stream. It's not on. Everyone, Dandavat pranams to all the people in the live stream. This is Shivananda saying on request of Her Grace Srimati Syamarani to ask her if she would like to continue speaking on Madhurya Karambini, and the answer is yes, please continue.
All right, so I thought today we would discuss the 6 features of Anisthita Bhakti. There are pretty much 9 stages of bhakti, beginning from initial faith, ado shraddha, to to sadhu sangha, then associating with devotees who are affectionate to me and more advanced than myself, and then through sadhu sangha to bhajana kriya. Then I get initiated by one of those sadhus, and I begin the process of devotional services, bhajana kriya, initiation, and then the practices. And then the next stage is anartha nivritti, and then nistha. Nistha means steadiness. No matter what happens, I'm going to be doing bhakti. But before that comes anartha nivritti, which means the cleansing away of unarthas. Artha means that which is good for me, and unarthas is that which is not good for me. So clearing away those tendencies that I have. And before the stage of nistha, or the stage of steadiness, am I a little thing on the screen or am I a big thing? because we're far away, but I guess you're zooming in. Okay, so before the stage of steadiness is the clearing away of obstacles to being steady, and there are 6 obstacles, or you could also call them 6 features of unsteady bhakti. Does anybody know what those 6 features are? Do you know what they are? Huh? No. Those are the 4 defects of conditioned souls. There's lots of lists, but those are 4. What I'm asking for is the 6. So I'll name them and then we'll describe them. The purpose of that is that we can recognize what's in me, what I'm doing or thinking or not doing, that's an impediment to my advancement. Then I can, by recognizing it, I can give it up. Oh, there it is. Put that over there. Okay, so the first one is utsaha mai. That is, utsaha means like enthusiasm. Or utsaha also means like festival enthusiasm. Yes, I'm doing bhakti. So utsaha mai. Mai means just saturated with or filled with. Filled with an enthusiasm that's based on overconfidence, which is thus, because it's based on overconfidence, it's feeble and it's short-lived. So what is utsahamai? Based on what? Yeah. If everybody can speak loudly, so you might be able to be heard on the live stream. So enthusiasm, filled with. It has to be filled with, because that word is mai, saturated with, made of. Like Radharani is Krishna mai. She's made of Krishna. That is, everywhere she looks, inside of her, outside of her, she sees Krishna. This is filled with an enthusiasm that's based on overconfidence, and therefore it's what? It has 2 qualities. Feeble means like not strong, and short-lived. Because as soon as something happens, I lose my enthusiasm. Like an example is that a mother brings her teacher into school, and here's my son, and then the teacher has a big red book, and it's an alphabet book. And on one page you see the apple, and then you see A is for apple, and B is for bowl. So the student thinks, yes, I'm a student, I'm learning all these things. And he tells his mother, I love school, let's go. But then as soon as something is a little more difficult, like not only a letter, but I have to know a word, then when things get tough, then the child loses his enthusiasm. I don't want to go there. I don't like that teacher. So then the next stage is ghana. Ghana means what? Cloud. Like Krishna is Ghana Sham. His complexion is like, can you bring the tea up from up there, since I forgot to take it? So, Krishna is Ganesham. He's sham, blackish cloud, thick cloud. But this stage, this particular stage, is called Gana Tarala. Tarala means like thin, irresolute, sporadic. Tarala also means like when water is dripping. So the endeavors of devotion of such a person is what? What are the qualities? Loud, sporadic, irresolute, and what else? Yeah, irresolute. Whoops. Okay. So Ganatarla. Sometimes he has a drive and sometimes just nothing. And then the third one, what's the first one? Utsaha. Maye. Utsaha. Maye. And the second one? Good. And then this third one, I mean, if any of it sounds familiar in your life, just check it off. Then the third one is Vyudha Vikalpa. Like in the Mahabharata war, it talks about the Vyudhas. It's sometimes resolved in something, sometimes not. So it's described here as indecisiveness resulting from contemplation of a diversity of alternatives. Like, should I do that? Should I do that? Should I get married? Should I stay single? I mean, Madhusudan looks like he's doing pretty good. He's not married, but then I see Shiva. He looks like he's doing really good, and he is married. So, which one should I do? Which one would I be better? No, because this is particular to which way to go. The other is just plain resolved and not resolved. And this one is which way to go. Which way should I have my resolve? That when there's a diversity of alternatives. All of Mahaprabhu's associates, they were married and they're pure devotees. But then again, if I become married and then I can't get out of it very easily, so maybe it's better not to be married. But if I'm renounced right now, and then some desire comes, then I can't go back and engage in household life because I've already taken the renounced order. So like maybe Madhusudan is stuck. If he wanted to get married, he couldn't because it would be a disgrace. And he would be eating his own vomit. You vomit something out, then you eat it again. But then again, I think that brahmachari resolve gave him a resolve that he couldn't have had if he wore white. So this is, different alternatives. Can you stand up, please? Thank you. So indecisiveness resulting from contemplating a diversity of alternatives. Doubts constantly assailing one's resolve to go in this direction or that direction. So, what is that called? Vikalpa. Like, should I go this way or that way? And then number 4. Which one is you, Nitai? We just discussed 3 of the types of unsteady bhakti. We're all going to share that with you. The first one is utsaha mayi, which means what? Enthusiasm that's based on overconfidence, which is usually feeble and short-lived. Enthusiastic. I don't want to go to Mangal Artik. Yeah, kirtan. I don't want to go to kirtan. It changes. It's because it's based on overconfidence. Actually, I'm a good singer. But I don't care. So then comes the second one is Gana Tadala. Gana Tadala means Gana is thick, and Tadala very runny, like where you have runny as opposed to honey. Gana Tadala, thick and thin, irresolute, sporadic in the endeavors of devotion. It's kind of like Utsahamayi, but Utsahamayi is particularly grounded in overenthusiasm. Look, Ma, I'm a good student. I see the A and I see the apple. A is for apple. But then C, Krishna Dasi, run. Forget it. This teacher's too hard. Okay, then the third one is Vyudha Vikalpa, which is what? Indecisiveness resulting from contemplating a group of various alternatives. So doubts constantly assailing one's resolve to go this way or that way. Means, should I be married? Should I be single? I can see the benefits of that. I can see the benefits of that. But then there's the what ifs. And then number 4 is Vishaya Sangara. So Vishaya means, engaging in sense gratification. Eating foods that are not offered to Krishna. Speaking about things that are not in relation to Krishna. Watching movies that have nothing to do with Krishna, that are all violence and lust or whatever the thing is in this modern times. And then Sangara means battling with that. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to look at that guy. So a battle against the desire or tendency for sense gratification and losing the battle a lot for worldly objects. Even name and fame. Okay, number 5. Okay, what's number 2? Ganatadala, good, thick and thin. Irresolute, sporadic, yes, no. And then what's number 1? Utsahamayi, meaning enthusiasm generated from overconfidence. Then as soon as I see I can't do it, well, it wasn't important to do anyway. And then number 3. Number 3 is Vyudha Vikalpa, being faced with a variety of alternatives of which way my life should go. I'm just on the mental plane. Now, if I become a Krishna conscious householder, then I'm fine. If I become a Krishna conscious renunciate, then I'm fine. But if I'm just stuck in the middle, should I go this way or that way, I don't get the benefit of either one. I'm just on the mental platform.
Is that when Arjuna says, what happens
You take the mic,
somebody
please.
that doesn't complete their duty? Is he like a wind-driven cloud that has no steadiness in any single place, but it's just blown about by this incompletion of his dharma? Is that the same? Are those related?
So, Shiva is asking the same question that Arjuna asked Krishna. So, what happens if someone strives for perfection in yoga, but he makes a certain level of advancement, but he doesn't complete the process? So, then does he become like a riven cloud, like just gone adrift with no position in either sphere? He doesn't become successful materially, he doesn't become successful spiritually. So, with material things, we lose the whole thing. If I'm a millionaire, I can't take any of it with me to the next body. I start not because of the million that I made in my previous birth, but I start with whatever good or bad deeds I did in my previous many births. And that's the kind of birth I take. Like I may have a silver spoon in my mouth when I'm born, and I may be born, like there's one lady who was at a shelter when the devotees went to one of their very first free food distribution. Back when we were in Hollywood, one lady literally, that's why she was in the poor place, she literally had eyes and ears and nose in random areas. So that's because of a lot of sins in the past life. Hmm? Hmm? Remember? You remember, yeah. Which brings me to a question. What is the difference between a sin and an aparad or an offense? Can anybody say? Sorry? Could be and it could not be. Awareness of what I'm doing. Sin is in relation to the body and mind. I kill someone, that's a very bad sin. And or drinking is a sin. Prostitution is a sin in relation to the body and mind. Aparad, translated as offense, arad, means affection. So aparad means against affection or against devotion. You could say against Radha, who is the embodiment of affection and devotion. So that's in relation to the soul. And that's worse. Like Gurudev once said in Vrindavan, and I heard him say it elsewhere, that if someone offends a pure devotee, if one offends any devotee, it's bad, even a brand new neophyte devotee. But if one offends a pure devotee, that's like a maha aparad, great. And so Krishna is thinking that I have made so many hellish planets. You can read about them in the 3rd and 5th canto of the Bhagavatam. But I haven't made a hell that's bad enough for that person. So I have to think how to do that. And you'd be amazed to see how bad these hellish planets are. But that one hasn't, Krishna's thinking I haven't done a good enough one for that person. Hmm. Do you want to take the mic? Wait, take the mic and repeat it.
So in response, I'm just going for it because I don't get to come here much, so I'm milking it, you know. Um, so please forget. In
But I didn't answer your previous question.
It's okay.
I will.
in response to this, I'm thinking of the Haridas Thakur book by Srila Gurudev, where he explains that one reason why Haridas Thakur was beaten in the 22 marketplaces was because and Haridas is confessing, he said, oh, because there was an aparad that was being committed to a Vaishnav, and out of humility, I thought it would be more humble for me not to chastise or correct the aparadi. And so because I didn't correct the aparadi and basically tolerated his offense to this devotee, that is why I got beaten into the 22 marketplaces.
Who was the
I believe it was Srivas Thakur. Not someone operatic. We can look very closely, but the
if you could
people's
get
name.
the specifics, that would be great.
It's in the Haridas Thakur. It's in the book on Haridas Thakur.
Okay, if you could find the
Gurudev book,
specifics.
can find. So Haridas Thakur is saying that the reason I was beaten is because I didn't respond. So my question then, very difficult question. My question then is, let us just say, and this is in response to what we're ultimately going, let us just say that someone or a group of someones have committed tremendous Vaishnava aparad, but we come to them not in the form of correction or chastisement attitude per se, but in the form of unity or trying to harmonize, giving them a chance to rectify that aparad with our attitude of love and affection that they are also in the movement of Mahaprabhu. Where do we stand?
And you know, everything depends. Gurudev's disciple, you can hold it. Gurudev's disciple, Madhura, forget what was her name. She used to help me with the ASL. Madhurika. She was in the mood of harmony and loving the devotees, or if you could call them that, those who were in leadership, managerial position, and they were banning and saying bad things about Gurudev. So she wanted to, instead of retaliating, instead of giving counter arguments, just be loving and try to chant together. So Gurudev didn't like her solution. He said, if somebody is offending your Gurudev, you would just go to them and smile and show your teeth. So he liked defeating the arguments and protecting the integrity of the pure devotee. If someone is so powerful that just by giving someone an embrace, that person could be transformed, that's another thing. Like Nityananda himself, when he was, thrown a rock at, and he was so kind, so Jagai and Madai were transformed. So it depends on the individual power. So Visaya Sangara is the battle with desire for worldly sense objects and temptation. I'm not going to drink milk. I'm not going to have sweets. And then I can't help it. So regarding your previous question, is the person who doesn't complete his practice in yoga, is he like a riven cloud with no position, neither sphere? Krishna said that, Krishna answered that anyone who's on the path, he's never the loser. And he said he takes his next birth in a good family, either a family of transcendentalists or a family of rich people who were pious, of course, or a family of yogis. So if he doesn't get the perfectional stage, then he'll start with where he left off in his previous life. But for someone who's on the material pursuit, he starts in his next life with nothing but the result of his good and bad karma. Then number 5 is niyamakshama, the inability to upheld vows. So the previous one, which is Vishaya Sangara, is the battle against the tendency to engage in sense gratification. And this one, on the other hand, is Niyam Akshama, which means the inability to uphold vows. I'm going to chant 64 rounds, or I'm going to chant 16 rounds. And then I do that one day and I get so upset that I had to do that, that the next day I do nothing. The next day, okay, I'll try. I'll do one, then I go back to nothing for 3 weeks. So that's Niyam Akshama, inability to uphold vows. And then last but not least, which is one of Vasanti's favorites, is what, Vasanti? Taranga Rangani. That is delighting in the mundane benefits afforded by the performing the activities of bhakti. Like, this proves that I'm doing really sincere services because people are sending donations, computers, clothing, what? Electric bike, so many things. And this is the direct result of my devotion. So then delighting in the mundane benefits, which may not be coming from my bhakti at all, may be a distraction of Maya. Like we published one article. We didn't write the article, it was Gurudev's lecture, but we titled it, what was that? Easy Money by Nama Parad. That is, if you do Nama Parad, you may get a lot of money. But what happens is, it's a trick by Krishna. Because if you get a lot of money, then you'll use it for sense gratification and go to hell. So that's, the hell is the result of the Nama Parad, not the money. So we're going to review them once more. What's number 1? Utsahamai, which means? Huh? What? Filled with enthusiasm based on over confidence, which is usually short-lived and feeble. What's number 3? View. Viewdha. Viewdha vikalpa. Which means? How are you going to remember it, huh? Huh? Viewdha vikalpa. View the. Too many options.
View of which way to go.
I need a view. I don't have a view. Which way to go? Huh? Okay. So viewdha vikalpa, which means indecisiveness resulting from contemplating a diversity of alternatives. Contemplating a diversity of alternatives. Like we even have that now, sort of. Should we go to what was that place? Davie, Tallahassee. Which way does Gurudev want us to go? But then if we went here, this would happen. If we went there, that would probably happen.
Doesn't it not really, it's not really falling in, because it's spiritual.
It's not,
It's not beautiful, because
It's
we
different
know,
category, Mata.
we know we have to go.
we have a temple, and we're just, where do we move it? It's not like,
Right, so it's not a life resolve.
It's a save. It's a save.
Save a confusion.
It's not even confusion. It's
I'm confused.
it's not a confusion. It doesn't fit. You just
Okay, so Vyudha Vikalpa is what? What's an example?
get married or not.
Good. So if I have to enjoy now, otherwise, when I'm old, then I won't be able to enjoy even if I try. And then number 2, thick and thin resolve. So then the devotion is what? Irresolute, it's going all over. Sporadic, not consistent. And then niyamakshama. Niyama means rules.
inability to follow.
Hmm?
Inability to follow.
What?
Got the inability to follow the vows.
Mm-hmm. It is, yeah, inability to follow vows. Just think niyama. Niyama means vows or rules. And then Turanga Rangani,
Riding the waves.
riding the waves, delighting in the material delights afforded by practicing bhakti. But the practice is not pure, it's mixed with the desire to enjoy the fruits, the desire to enjoy profit, adoration, and distinction. Otherwise, if I didn't have that desire, then I wouldn't delight in the results afforded by that. Oh, now Gurudev gets into in the next text, he gets into a lot of detail about each one. First, the stage within Anistita Bhajan Kriya. Kriya means like doing the duties of bhajan or devotion, unsteadily. When a student begins his reading of the scriptures, within his mind he thinks, I have acquired such a level of scholarship that I deserve to be praised by everyone. With such pride, a profound enthusiasm and zeal temporarily arise within him. He becomes intensely absorbed in his studies, but with that motive, which he has just begun. A similar kind of excessive enthusiasm is visible in the new sadhak upon his simply entering the path of devotion. Therefore, this stage is called utsaha mai.
Question.
Yeah.
What we see many examples that seem to fit within that category. But at the same time, there is a positive note about that, because the power of the attractive potency of bhakti can bring someone who is not actually prepared to go the whole route, but yet the power of bhakti starts them on the path. And so they become very enthusiastic due to the power of the attractive potency of bhakti.
Mm-hmm.
So even though we see that they may ultimately not
You know how
be
many
okay,
people are missing hearing what you're saying?
No.
You can't even count.
Oh.
There's a mic right behind you.
Thank you, Mata. I'm just, I'm losing my heat. So we see that the attractive potency of bhakti is such that a person who in the doesn't, like you say, the sukritis and samskars, or does not have the exact qualification at that moment, but is still attractive, they become extremely enthusiastic, and we actually fan that enthusiasm, even though we know that ultimately it may fit into this anartha. So how do we reconcile by seeing this anartha as an unwanted thing, but also in many ways we have to praise bhakti for the fact that the person that has it is actually doing something.
Yeah, you gave the answer. There's nothing to do because that's a stage. It's a stage of bhakti. So there's nothing to do to change it except to increase the bhakti. My own bhakti or someone else's bhakti. If that, by engaging in bhakti, by keeping on going, by associating, taking bona fide prasadam, that's prasadam cooked with devotion by somebody who's chanting, who's saying Gayatri, who's doing all the Brahminical procedures, then just by eating, I advance, and by reading, by praying to the book, as we discussed many times, then you come to nistha gradually.
So are you
That's what this book is all about.
so are you saying, and are you also saying simultaneously that we have a free will not to continue, and at the same time there are those that, but I remember one time you told me keep going. You said keep going, and just like this morning we mentioned to you, don't, because I got it from her, don't leave. So we're talking about anista study, meaning that there is the potential that that person in unsteadiness may actually leave the process. And my question is, how do we get them not to leave the process, even though they're in that process, and the gradual move towards progress is available to them? What can we do to get them to stay?
In the beginning of the movement, there was one young man who seemed very, very sincere. His name was Stridesh, back in 26 Second Avenue. And then he left to go back into Maya, and that's when we learned the meaning of the word bloop. Definition. You drop a rock or a pebble in the water and it makes a little sound, bloop. So when somebody goes back into material activities and leaves bhakti, it's called blooping. So Prabhupada answered that don't think it's very wonderful if somebody leaves the process of bhakti, because this world is made of Maya. Think it's wonderful if somebody stays. So one word that you used, which I wanted to adjust, is how can we get them? We can't get anybody to do anything
Thank you.
because everyone has free will.
Right.
But we can give as much of our bhakti time and love and assistance and watch out for everybody that we can, and not have the philosophy of, am I my brother's keeper? Like, where's so-and-so? I haven't seen him in a month. Am I my brother's keeper? You know that story? It's from the Bible. Cain killed Abel, and then somebody asked Cain, have you seen Abel? And he said, am I my brother's keeper? So, I'm not responsible for my brother, but of course he had just killed him. And so if we just let people go who are living with us and around us, then they would more easily go and leave and not be able to overcome their obstacles than if we were to try to help them. It may be either because of our lack of bhakti power or their lack of sakritis that they're not going to stay anyway. But it's our duty to try, back in the 1970s, when we artists had many deadlines for Srila Prabhupada's books in art, and there was some new artists. So I asked Prabhupada, we're doing these old deadlines now. Should we help them? How much should we help them in general bhakti? And how much should we stop our own work to help them in training them in the art? So Prabhupada said, help them in all ways. That's the top. Not just my service. That's leadership, is who's going to help others to come up.
Can I just ask one more question about this? So Gurudev would say that all living entities gravitate to where there is an abundance of pure love and affection. Sometimes he would just say love and affection, wouldn't even say pure. But we see that all living entities gravitate to where there is love and affection, or pure love and affection. So it seems that the inability maybe to recognize the love and affection, or maybe the inability to recognize what is love and affection, and then seeing that the external world presents a form of love and affection that is more easily to recognize as love and affection that actually may not be love and affection. So, for example, the chastisement of Guru. Many people, I can speak from, so much experience from my son. Chastisement of Guru. Sometimes Guru could be so heavy that we don't actually see that heavy chastisement due to the potency as love and affection. And then someone else will come, some attractive person will come, and they'll say, hey, and immediately we think, oh, so much love and affection is there. And because we're not recognizing that as danger, and then we're seeing the real love and affection as something that should be rejected, then we run to that. So how do we resolve that?
How does who resolve it?
The jiva.
The jiva who is confused about what is love and affection.
The jiva who is confused about which way to go. In other words, we all gravitate to where there's love and affection, but sometimes we don't know what love and affection is, and that which may not be love and affection seems, and that which is chastisement may not be seen, but is real love and affection.
It's the same answer for every question, which is it depends on the amounts of our sukritis, sanskars, past pious activities, past sinful activities, past offenses. When Narada Muni was trying to get Ratnakar, who was a murderer, he murdered Brahmins, and he wanted to murder Narada, but he had to stop short. He didn't know why, but then he realized. So Narada said, well, what can I do? I'm going to suffer for all the lives that I've killed, jivas that I killed, Brahmins that I've killed. What do I do? How do I save myself? So Narada said, just chant the name Ram, because this murderer had to become Valmiki, who was the famous self-realized soul who wrote the Ramayana, even before Ram came. So Narada said, chant Ram. He said, I can't. He couldn't get it out because he was too sinful. He said, okay, then chant Mara, which he could really chant easily because that means kill. So, yeah, Rama, 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 which became Rama. And then he chanted for so many thousands of years, and he realized Lord Ram. The point is that he couldn't chant Ram in the beginning. He had to get a lot of Sukritis for just chanting the syllable because he was sinful. And in Shakespeare, Macbeth had just killed somebody So when he came out of the room, the guards there all said to him, Amen. And then he was expected to come back with something religious. And he said, "Ugh." Couldn't say it because he had just committed a big sin. So it depends on the person. You're asking about how that person can recognize what is real spiritual love and affection and what is danger. Like the witch Maya, like Hansel and Gretel, they were in the forest and the witch made a candy house and they were eating up, nibbling the candy house. And so then all of a sudden like a prison fell down on them. So that's how the nature of the witch of Maya is. Come on, enjoy me. Come on, enjoy me, like the ice cream truck. So it just depends on the person's sincerity, on their association, on their past good and bad, and all that is counted. And then at that moment he can make his decision based on all of that. But I think it's time. It's
I have one more
11:10.
question. Please, let me have one more question on this vein, because this is related to our conversation earlier. If you say no and time's up, then I won't ask.
Hurry.
Hurry. Oftentimes when we have a relationship of love and affection between each other, or even in the material world, a relationship of love and affection, what we see, a person, I'm going to leave you now. And then the other person says, oh, if you leave me, I'll be so
die.
brokenhearted, I'll die. Please don't leave. And due to that plea, then that person does not leave. But on the same time, we see that when we're doing something where we are more attached to Krishna than we are attached to so many other things, we want to serve Krishna's mission, and so we have a deep attachment to bringing people towards this mission as best we possibly can by Guru's grace. But if a person seems to be drifting away, how far do we go and say, oh, Prabhu, if you drift away, you're going to break my heart? In other words, do we have to make an adjustment at some particular point where, as much as I've tried, as much blood as I've given, as much hope as I've had, this person's going to drift away, I'm going to be sad, but how do I handle that emotion? This is the thing.
There's two things. One is called affection, and one is called attachment. Affection means for the other person's welfare, and attachment means for my exploitation or enjoyment. So if I'm personally attached to the person staying because of my personal sense gratification, then I can take care to see what is my motive here. Okay, Gaur Premanandi.
Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol.
Thanks for answering my question so nicely, Mata.
There was one question on the live stream.
Uh-huh.
I know time's very late.
Mm-hmm.
You want to take it?
If it's quick.
I think it's quick. Gopali Devi Dasi asks, if we commit a sin as an aspiring devotee, is it both aparad and sin because we are disobeying orders of spiritual master? Is this correct understanding?
It could be. Like if the spiritual master says don't smoke, and I smoke out of weakness, then that may be different than, well, my spiritual master said don't smoke, but I don't care what he said, because I don't really have any faith in him anyway. Then it may be a merge of aparad and sin. Everything depends on so many things. So fortunately, there's a group of accountants that are a lot smarter than us, and they can just figure it out. What's, adding up the person's sins, offenses, pious activities, and giving the next body. Ke Gaur Premanande. Srila Viswanath Chakrabarti Thakur ki jai. Srila Gurudeva ki jai. Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Nitai Gora Haribo, 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 Gora Haribo. Nitai Gora Haribo, Haribo, Haribo. Gaur Premanande, Hari Haribo.